Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Wednesday. Okay, so I have surprises for you guys today. I have stories for you today. I have some things I need to talk about today. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it today. I have lots to talk about today. I'm gonna bring you the surprises here in just a second. I bet you have no clue what the surprises are. Anyway, I made an executive decision today when I got up because I felt so good today when I woke up. No anxiety. I just felt so good today when I woke up. And except for the fact that I got up earlier than I had to. But that comes with the surprise. Oh, that was a hint for the surprise. That was a hint because of the surprise. But anyway, I had to get up a little bit earlier than I had planned to, but that's okay. That's okay. I woke up and I felt great today. I felt so good. And so I was like, I think, I'm going to have to probably move my place. Anyway, so I made an executive decision. I was like, I think today, because, I had planned that because, it had been loud the last couple days and stuff. I had planned today and then I got, anyway, I planned today that I was going to film on all of my channels, and except the Peter Watches TV channel was the one, because last night I was going to watch 1,000 Pound Sisters, and I didn't watch it because I was binge watching Love After Lockup, and I'm almost done with it, and my plan was to get all of Love After Lockup done, and then then respond to, I think it's 5 episodes are out, Love After Lockup today, do 1,000 Pound Sisters tomorrow, and then on Friday is the new episode of Love After Lockup, and then I was going to respond to it, and then I'm going to respond to it every week. But what happened was that I started getting really, really tired late last night because I didn't take a nap. I know, I was surprised I didn't take a nap. So I didn't take a nap last night, and I started getting really, really tired. I almost put on shorts before I came out here because it's kind of hot, and now I wish I had, so I'm pulling up these sweatpants. But anyway, so I didn't finish Love After Lockup last night, so I couldn't do the video today. But I had videos for all my other channels, and then I thought, okay, well, instead of that, I'll do 9 bodies in a Mexican morgue. I'll react. I knew not a lot of people would care about that, but I want to react to it anyway. So, but I woke up today, and I felt so good, and I was laying there in bed, and it was before I did my prayers and meditations and stuff, and I was kind of in my head, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs, I'm gonna do my prayers and meditations and stuff, come upstairs, make the bed, because I want to change all the bedding today. We've had that Christmas comforter on there since November now, and I wanted to change all the bedding today and put these those spring cotton sheets. I think I bought them last summer with Caroline at Costco. I wanted to put those sheets on there. I wanted to put either the gray or the light blue comforter on there and just make it really springy and homey, and I wanted to open the windows tonight. And so I was like, I think that I am just going to just film my vlog today, and then I'm going to take a walk early, and then I'm going to come back and put my comfy pajamas on, and then Alex and I think we're going to catch up on some TV tonight, because we didn't do that last night. He was watching The Good Wife, and I filmed a video, and then I went on a walk after that. And then I came back and I was like, do you want to watch some shows? He's like, I'm really into this. Can we watch it tomorrow night? And I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. By the way, when I came back in, Elsbeth Tassioni was on The Good Wife. I go, Elsbeth, because it's a courtroom scene. Everybody had told me that Elsbeth was a spinoff of, that Elsbeth, I should probably tell you guys the surprise, but because I have a feeling it's going to maybe have something to do with this video. Well, let me tell you the surprise really quick. Okay, so the reason that I woke up really early this morning was because I heard workers out here, and then I was like, okay, what's going on? And so I looked out my window, and they were here. And do you guys remember I told you about the father and son duo that did the other condos? Well, they got the bid. So I cannot even believe this, you guys, the turnaround. They are so nice. I came out here, I talked to them for a half an hour. They are so nice. They told me what days they're going to be here, what hours they're going to be working here. They told me how it's going to all go down. They told me how they're going to do the repairs. They are so super, super nice. He's walking back and forth. I'm talking about you right now. But they went through the whole thing. They explained the roofing. They don't do the roofing, and they don't do the painting, but they do all of the siding and the repairs and stuff like that. And so he's like, are you guys working on the back now?
No, right here on this.
Okay, well, I'll move inside then, because I don't...
No problem.
Okay, I'll be in there because I want to show that this is first. Anyway, so I came out here. Let me just show you what they have done already. Are you guys ready for this? You're gonna die. Look at this. It is all, look at that. They did all of that this morning. Is that not totally incredible? Unbelievable. Okay, well, they're getting ready to work on the front of my neighbor's condo. So let me move inside and I will resume the vlog inside. But that was a surprise. Surprise! That was a surprise. Okay, I'll be inside in 2 and 2. I'm back. Did you guys miss me for the 2 seconds? Oh, I'm in a different chair too. Anyway, so they've been working on her side of the house. So I've been talking to my neighbors today. We've been picking paint sample colors for the side of the house. We've picked 2 colors and then they're gonna do a paint sample. So it was like all of us standing out there with these paint samples. Which one looks nicer for the trim? Which one looks... So they brought all the samples to my neighbor, and then the 4 different condos, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 condos, we all had to like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 condos, we all had to like meet and have this meeting. What did she call it? The disgruntled residents or whatever. And we had to like pick a color. So we had to narrow it down to 2. We narrowed the trim down to what we want, which is like this kind of like off-whitish color. And then the colors, all the colors they gave us like 2 kind of like greenish colors that I absolutely hate. And then they gave us like all the rest of them are kind of like shades of gray, which I really like. I'll be honest with you, none of the colors do I dislike that badly, so it's all kind of in the middle at this point. And so I'm like, and it's, right now it's like 3 of us kind of like the grayer colors and 1 of us likes the greener colors, and I just kind of was like, hey, whatever we pick. And they're like, well, didn't Alex want to be a part of it? And so like I was texting Alex and showing him the colors, and he's like, hey, whatever we go with is, it's fine. Because really, to be honest with you, do you know like when people show you paint samples and it's like 10 variations of like the same shade? It's like, it was like that. I mean, it was literally like, so these are our different colors of white, and there's this white, and this is called Moon Glow, and this is called Pearl. It was like, I was like, what's the difference in the colors? I didn't even know. We got laughing and stuff. But anyway, so we were standing out there, and that was when they were working on the side of the house. And so I was like, came down here and I was like, I need to start this vlog, and then my neighbor was like, we're meeting about, so I was like, okay, I gotta meet with them. So anyway, so I came downstairs, and when like they were working on it and stuff like that, and I came outside and I just poured myself some iced coffee, so I gotta have a little iced coffee. Another little info piece for you guys, I literally just turned the air conditioning on, which I have been fighting against. I feel like every one of my friends I've had this conversation with this week about turning on the air conditioning. The problem is, it's getting really cool at night. Like I had the window on. I had the window open last night, and it was really cool like in front of the chair, like where I watch my iPad, and I could feel the breeze coming in a little bit, which is weird because we hardly ever get a breeze, like a cross breeze. But I could feel it last night. But then if I walked into the kitchen, it was hot. It was like 76 degrees in here. It's just not cooling down in our condo at all. So today, it's really, I mean, it's nice. It's a beautiful day outside, but it's not super hot. I have no idea what the temperature is. Let me look and see. Oh, it is warm today. It's 78 degrees. So I was like, you know what? I gotta turn the air conditioning on. Even if we have to turn it off tomorrow, I'm turning it on. So I turned it on to 69 because it's like 76. I was like, I can't, it's like so hot in here. So anyway, Alex is like the last 3 days. He's like, can we just turn the air conditioning on? I was like, if we wait a couple days, it's supposed to get cooler and whatever. He's like, okay. And we can't have like, I open the window at night because he takes allergy medicine in the morning and allergy medicine at night. But his allergies are so bad that if like the windows are open all day long, when he comes in here, it's just like, so we can't have the windows open all day. Well, I mean, in 78 degree temperature, why would you want to have the windows open anyway, you know? And it is currently, like I said, this is an early vlog. It is currently 3:24 p.m. So I came downstairs and I talked to them, and at that point I was still kind of like, anyway, I didn't know, like, I always make this executive decision. We'll circle back to the executive decision in a second, but I always make like this executive decision, like I'm just gonna vlog today, and then like I come downstairs and I change my mind, and I'm like, no, you know, whatever. So anyway, I came out. Oh, I know why I was like rushing to tell the story about those guys, because because they were like getting ready to work on the house. Well, now I can go back to my executive decision. Okay, so last night, I like got back from my walk and I did a face mask. I haven't done this in a long time. I felt so relaxed, so peaceful, and so calm when I came back from my walk last night. I didn't take a super long walk, but I listened to my audiobook, and I'm trying to get it done because I got to get on those James Patterson books, and I have the recovery book to read all by a week from today. So that's 4 books I have to, well, 4 and the book I'm listening to right now that I have to finish in a week. I have to finish 4.5 books in a week. They said it couldn't be done, but watch, I'm gonna do it. So anyway, last night, I came back from my walk and I like took a shower. Well, at first I did like a face mask. I did like the cup of coffee face mask from Lush. I have not, it's been a while. Like every once in a while when like Alex will like, you know, go to like his friend's house to like play games or whatever, or go out to a dinner if he's gonna be home like later or whatever, like I will light candles and do like a spa night for myself. But very, very rarely. I think it's it's pretty apparent that my mind runs in 100 different directions. So for me to sit still for like lighting, I mean, at night watching TV shows and reading, that's kind of a different story. But to sit still and just be like not on my phone and with a face mask on and just, you know, like, oh, they're out there. I was like, what is that? Is the water running? They're out there working. Like that's hard for me. But last night, like I lit this, I have it's almost out, the Sleepy Candle by Lush. And I've had it forever in the bathroom. So I lit that one. And then some ocean scented candle that Alex had moved behind the TV. So I was like looking for a candle because most of the candles upstairs, I moved down here because I'm almost so out of candles. So I found this ocean scented candle, and so I lit that and I put that in the bedroom. I did the cup of coffee face mask, and I just sat on the bed and I just laid there. My body felt so good. I felt so peaceful and so relaxed. I had the fan on. I just felt so good. So I took a shower and stuff, and I mean, it was, by that point, it was kind of late, like for me to even take a nap, like even my naps, because they're late, I was like, I'm not taking a nap tonight, because if I take a nap now, then I'll just sleep till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll be tired all day tomorrow, and then I won't want to film videos all day tomorrow, because that was my plan. My list is right here of all my videos that I was going to make. So, after that, I came downstairs, and, I put on my comfy pajamas and stuff like that, and I came downstairs and I was trimming the wicks on all my candles, and Alex came into the kitchen, and I didn't realize he had turned the TV off, but he like came in the kitchen, he was like getting some water and stuff, and he goes, are you lighting all the candles right now? And I said, no, I'm just like for later, like when you go upstairs and I'm like, you know, watching my shows and stuff. He goes, well, I'm gonna go upstairs right now. He's like, I have a really early day tomorrow, I have to be up at 7, or I have to be at work at 7. And I said, oh, okay. So I trimmed all the wicks and the candles. He went upstairs and got ready for bed, and then I went upstairs and I kind of hung out with him for a little bit, and we talked, and we're just kind of like talking about this weekend, and we have lunch with my dad and my stepmom on Friday, and then different things that we're doing. Like, we don't really have a bunch of plans. We have just like some making plans. We have plans in the making, but nothing settled yet. So no, I'm not going to be surprising you guys on Friday with a trip. Wouldn't that be so funny though, if all of a sudden tonight Alex and I were like, let's just get away for the weekend? That would be so funny. We could. We absolutely could, you know? So anyway, you know, it's interesting because not having any dogs, you know, like when we had the dogs, I always wanted to get back for the dogs, and so did he. And now not having the dogs, it's like we do have a weekend trip coming up, but not for a while, but it's a little weekend trip. It's going to be fun. And I will be filming the whole thing because it's going to be something out of the ordinary for us. But anyway, little surprise. That is another surprise coming. But anyway, well, I won't be filming the whole thing, but I'm going to do some videos while we're on that little weekend trip. So anyway, but you know, like we talked about before, like waiting in between, like, you know, like when we didn't have any dogs anymore, waiting in between so we could just like go away for the weekend and stuff like that. And we talk about it. And in all honesty, I know this is going to sound so crazy, but like, like we were talking about it, and like we always talk, like we start with like, well, we could just like leave on like a Friday because like Alex doesn't work most Friday afternoons, and so we could leave early on a Friday and then come back like, you know, on a Sunday. And he's like, but I would want to come back early because I like, he likes to now come back from trips, if you've noticed, like he likes to come back earlier, so we, you know, like we've tried it a couple times and he likes it because then it gives them, you know, more of the time to get ready for work the whole day, the next day. So when we talk about it like a weekend trip, he's like, but I'd like to get back a little bit early so we can just kind of relax from our weekend trip before I go to work the next day. And so then we start talking about 4-day trips. We've actually, like, we've have like 3 4-day trips that we're thinking about for the summer. and like a longer trip for the summer and stuff like that. So we've got some things that we're planning. But, so anyway, it's kind of weird that we haven't just like, you know, we've talked about it. We've had a lot of talks about it. Like, do you want to, but this is the other thing. Like, the towns that we, like, just like him to drive to for the weekend, like Louisville. We've done Louisville so many times. I love Louisville. It's a cute city. But what we would do in Louisville would be, I don't know, I don't know, the things we love to do, like going out to dinner and watching TV, we would just do in Louisville. I don't know, and I'm not a big Chicago fan. I've been to Chicago so many times in my life. I thought I would live there one day. So anyway, but I will tell you one thing we have talked a lot about is maybe doing like weekend trips to like Miami. So that might be a little trip that's being. Anyway, any trip with a beach is a trip for us. We love any trip where there's a pool and a beach and things like that. So anyway, so we were talking last night about some trips and some stuff like that. And then I could tell he was like falling asleep as we were like talking. He was like super, super tired. So he went to bed, and then I came downstairs, and I don't even know what time it was. Talked to Tanya, talked to Nikki, was texting with Mel, talked to my sponsor. My sponsor's birthday was yesterday. So I was talking, oh my God, how did my tripod fall so early? So early in the video. Anyway, so I talked to everybody. Talked to everybody in my life. Anyway, so yeah, and then yesterday, like I said, yesterday was my sponsor's, did the tripod fall right? I think I said it right before and then it fell. Yesterday was my sponsor's birthday. She went out to dinner with her daughter, so anyway. So yeah, and then I was talking to Nikki about, I had to watch 1,000-Pound Sisters, and I was like, I want to watch 1,000-Pound Sisters because I want to do my coverage tonight or tomorrow. But then we were talking about Love After Lockup because she's the one that got me started in this new season. Well, I was like an episode ahead of her, and so I was like, well, I don't want to ruin it for you. And she was like, well, you won't ruin it for me. You can tell me. But there's like, so every episode, for like the first 6 episodes, they introduce like a new couple every episode sometimes. So she didn't even know some of the people that I was talking about. And so I was like telling her stuff, and it's like our conversation is about, if you've never watched Love After Lockup, like you can't truly appreciate it because the conversations that you would have, because like Nikki's texting me and she's like, why do every single one of these women want babies? So it's like the conversations are like, okay, well, it's like this season, it's all women dating men that are getting out of prison. Oh, no. Okay, well, the majority of it is women that are dating men that are getting out of prison. And many of them have 2 women that are waiting for them that don't know about each other. That's kind of the trick to this season. Then there's one gay couple, which a lot of people are asking me to react to it because it's this gay couple, and the one guy, they've dated like for a year or something like that. But the one guy has gone in and out of prison. Like he said, I think 5 times in, I don't know where they're at, Idaho or somewhere, but he was like in California 5 times, and he likes being in prison better than being out because he kind of knows that world, and he's a meth addict. And I think that's why a lot of people have been asking me about it, like what do I think about it. I think it's sad, in all honesty. It's one of the storylines, I mean, a lot of the storylines, like you just watch it and you're just like this, like what is going on? But that one is really sad to me. And it's not just because a lot of them are addicts. It's not just to me because he's an addict or because they're a gay couple. It really has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that you can tell that the boyfriend that's waiting for him has, like, he's trying to do everything he can to be supportive. Like, and he even talked about how, like, he had been sober for 10 years, and then he went back out with this guy when he met him. And so he was using, and then when that guy went to prison, he got sober again. And so he's, like, trying to work with his mom and everybody and do everything to, like, secure this guy's sobriety. And, I mean, I feel like, not in a dating situation, but with friends and people that I've known, like, if you have an addict in your life, I think so many people will relate to this, where it's like you want it more for them than they want it for themselves. Like, I feel like I've known, and I'm sure before I got sober, there were so many people, my dad, my stepmom, you know, so many people that really wanted it for me when I never really wanted it for myself first. And so it's hard to see that because the boyfriend is just like, and he doesn't want to be really in a monogamous relationship, but he's not telling the boyfriend that. And so he's like talking about all these guys, and then he's like telling the producers, he's like, in all honesty, like, as soon as I can get a chance to use, I'm going to use. But I don't want to ruin this thing because I've got a good thing. Because he knows his boyfriend that he's got already thinks his boyfriend is a good thing. And he's never been able to, like, get a boyfriend like that before. And so he's like, well, I think he's a good thing. I don't want to lose it. But if I can use a little bit. And I was like, oh, man, that's the one is too many, 1,000's never enough. You've been to prison this many times. You've been in substance abuse programs, halfway houses. And you're still convincing yourself. That is literally the disease of addiction. I mean, it's the physical craving combined with the mental obsession. The mental obsession is the part that, like, is so powerful that we don't really talk that much about, like, in society. We focus so much on, like, the chemical dependency and things like that, the physical side of it. But we don't talk so much, like, when you talk about, like, when people want to talk about, well, is this drug, like, you know, the whole discussion about, like, is marijuana physically, can be physically addicting. Like, I don't know if people are having that conversation today, but I can remember, 20 years ago, people were having that conversation about, can marijuana be physically addicting? Well, I feel like it was for me, and I can only speak for myself, but I can tell you one thing I definitely know is that, yes, I had a mental obsession with smoking marijuana all day, every day. All day. I mean, I couldn't even imagine my life without it. So anyway, like, that's a huge part of it. And so when he's talking about, well, I want to be able to use, but just a little bit, so that I don't lose this good thing without him finding out about it. Well, isn't that the trick that all addicts want to be able to do? I mean, I can remember thinking that, like, well, I want to go out and get just drunk enough, just high enough, but not to the point where I'm blacking out, or not to the point, that's where I always was in my head as an addict. So to watch it, it's hard. It's one of the reasons why, like, I don't even know if they film it anymore, but I stopped watching Intervention back in the day. Well, for two reasons, first of all, because I just didn't believe that after like 15 seasons of Intervention, when somebody was like driving around following them with cameras and following them and all this kind of stuff, that they were never once thinking like, am I on that show Intervention by any chance? Like, they never once thought that, right? So I was like, I loved the show, and I thought there was like there's two interventionists on there that I really, really liked. Candy was one of them. I thought she was fantastic. And so I think that one of the things you don't really get from that show is like people that do interventions, like that is a specifically trained thing that people do. Like in Indianapolis, there's really, I mean, I'm sure now there's probably like 5 or 6. I mean, obviously I haven't worked in treatment for 17 years, but when I worked in treatment back in the day, there was like literally one guy that was like specifically trained to be an interventionalist in the Indiana area. Like there was just one that was like a trained interventionalist that was nationally known. So if you were a family that wanted to do an intervention, you had to go to him. The other thing that's interesting about the show is, and any interventionist will tell you this, and any person that knows anything about addiction and interventions will tell you this, that they are unsuccessful about 98% of the time. And the reason they're unsuccessful, I don't even know how I'm going down this whole rabbit hole with this, but the reason they're unsuccessful is because, like, if you've ever watched the show, you know, like when they bring them in for the intervention at the end and they have them read the letters and stuff like that. So the big part of the intervention is when it's not like with the reading of the letters and saying like, and at this time we hope that you get help. It's really saying, if you don't get sober, you're no longer welcome in my home. It's setting boundaries like that. It's saying, if you don't get sober, like the mom saying, if you don't get sober, you're not allowed to live at my house. I'm not giving you any money. I don't want to hear from you. I mean, it's really, to be honest with you, like the thing that my dad said to me when he was like, I'm done. If you go back out there and use, like, I'm not helping you. I don't want to hear from you. Like, I can't do it anymore. That to me was such a significant contributor to my bottom of like, I just didn't even know anymore, you know? And so, when you watch the show, they show this part on there, and they show people walking out and stuff like that, but I feel like there's a lot of, like, updates where it'll be like, and Judy's 3 months sober, living in this halfway house, which is great. Like, you know, obviously, I think that's cool, right? But what they don't show is that in any family situation, you know, we talk about, you know, systems, family systems and things like that, that there's typically, like, one family member that addict or alcoholic knows they can always manipulate. And if you have an addict or alcoholic in your family, you know this and you know who the person is. It's like grandma or a sibling or somebody that they can go to, and they'll say everything they need to say in the intervention, and then 2 hours later they'll say, Grandma, I just can't go. Like, you know, I've got a daughter I've got to take care of. I can't go to treatment right now. Like, I just can't. Can you just give me $100? And I swear, like, I'm going to make this one last use. And, you know, and then, I mean, I've heard stories from friends of mine that they had their grandparents on the streets paying drug debts for them, okay? I mean, that is a level of enabling that, like, you're willing to put your grandparents' health and life at risk on the streets paying your drug debts. I mean, it's so sad to me. So interventions typically are not that successful unless everybody in that system, that family room, those friends, whatever spouses, are willing to say, we're done. And then that person has no one to turn to. And then they're literally, like, the only people they have to turn to are the drug dealers and their other friends that are addicts and things like that. And that's scary. And the thing is that that's really scary to families and friends, because they're like, if we don't continue to give them money or give them a place to stay, then they're going to end up dead. Like, if my dad were here, what he would say to you is, I had to come to terms with the fact that Peter was going to die one way or the other. Like, what I was doing wasn't helping the situation. If he was going to die, he was going to die. And if he was going to use, he was going to use. It's why, like, the saying that I say all the time in my videos when I talk about addiction, as far as, like, I don't have the power to get somebody sober and I don't have the power to get somebody drunk, is so important, right? Like, you don't, no, you are not responsible for somebody else's use, okay? I mean, like, I've had a lot of stuff go on in my life, and none of it, even if I did relapse, would not be the cause of it. Like, that's a choice, a personal choice, you know, like, and that was a big piece of, like, when Alex and I got back together, like, of him understanding. I actually had him talk to some of my friends that he was not responsible for my sobriety. Like, it was important for him to understand my sobriety, and important for us to discuss boundaries and things like that, but he was not responsible for my sobriety. And if something happened like that, you know, because it just, that needs to be understood. And so, it's not a blaming of the family member that enables the addict. They enable the addict. Most family members and friends, like, the term enabling is such a nasty term, right? Like, it's like confrontation. We don't like that word. When maybe confrontation is good sometimes, you know? But it's like, we don't like the word enabling. Well, most people that I have known, I mean, I've talked to my dad so much about it. I've talked to other people, enable out of fear and out of love. Like, it's not because they're bad people. It's not because you're a bad person that you enable your spouse, your child, your grandchild, whatever, your friend. That's not why. You enable because you love them and you're afraid of them being mad at you. You're afraid of them cutting you off and saying, like, I don't ever want anything to do with you again. I'm never going to talk to you again if you don't give me $60 so I can go use. Or, you know, like, the one scene, I just unplugged my computer and I don't, this computer is, like, basically running on about 2% at this point anyway. So if it's not plugged in, I know you shouldn't leave your computer plugged in all the time, but I have to these days. So anyway, if you've ever seen the movie Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio, it's about Jim Carroll's life. It is one of the most fantastic movies about addiction ever. I think Lorraine Bracco plays his mom in it. There's a scene when she's kicked him out and he's knocking on the door and he's literally screaming. He's like, Mom, let me in, just let me in. And she's on the other side of the door. Like, it's like, they film it like this. And she's bawling her eyes out, just, like, going down the door. Because she knows she can't let him in. She's like, I think she says to him at one point, she's like, if I let you in, you'll die. And she understands it at that point. Like, she gets it. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I let him in, he's going to continue to do what he wants. And it is such a painful scene to see. But if you are an addict or an alcoholic, or you have had an addict or alcoholic in your life, that scene is so relatable, because we've all had that moment. Maybe not exactly like that or to that extreme, but we've all had that moment. And I think it's where the family member or the friend or the enabler has this come to Jesus moment where it's like, it doesn't really matter what I do. They're going to do exactly what they want to do. And I can't do anything about it. And now I'm going to have to just sit back and watch them die or watch them get healthy. And I can't do anything about it. And it's such a powerful feeling, or such a powerless feeling. It's why, like, we recommend, you know, if you're in a 12-step program, why we recommend 12 sister programs like Al-Anon and Ar-Anon, you know, because not to cure the addict or the alcoholic, but to work on yourself, because, I mean, there's a powerlessness that comes in relation to the addict or alcoholic in your life, you know? But anyway, so That's why I stopped watching Intervention years ago. I really liked Intervention. It's weird, the ones I remember about Intervention. I mean, I can kind of see them in my head right now. I remember this one girl that had an eating disorder, and she would hide vomit in her closet. I can remember she would go to Hardee's and she would eat breakfast every morning after she took her kid to school, and she had like this infant child, and she would order all of this food, and he wasn't old enough to, like, he was like a year old, and so he wasn't old enough to like realize that he wasn't, what did I just do? Hold on a second. He wasn't old enough, somebody was calling, I was like trying to hang it up and I thought I did, but anyway, he wasn't old enough to like tell on her basically, right? And she would say that like in her interviews, and then she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when he gets to be like 3 or 4. It was so sad. I mean, it was so sad. That's the one thing I loved about the show, is that they covered all kinds of addictions and all kinds of issues and eating disorders and all kinds of things. I thought it was a powerful show. Some of them some of the interventionists I thought weren't really that great, but some of them I thought were fantastic. There was a guy on there that I really liked too. I thought he was really, really good. I can't remember his name. He was not on there a lot, and he was not the first couple seasons. But anyway, but part of why I stopped watching it is because it was hard to watch. You know, I live it every day. Then to watch that. I mean, a lot of the addiction movies I watch or books that I read are inspiring. Like, there's a happy end, not a happy ending necessarily, well, usually, but there's kind of like a hopeful ending, maybe, you know? And so I think that's why I like this. I don't know, like Intervention. I mean, I liked it when they had the updates, and they'd be like, you know, like I said, Judy's been sober for 3 months, and they'd show her, you know, at the halfway house or whatever. So anyway, this part of Love After Lockup is just kind of really sad to me. But some of the other things, it's like Nikki and I were talking about last night, like all of these women, like most of them have not even met these men yet, like when they've gotten out of prison. Oh, this is what I was saying. Okay, so there's all the women that are like waiting for their men. It's usually kind of like mixed. It's like some of like the men are like waiting for women, and some of the women are waiting for men. This one is like mostly women waiting for men to get out of prison, and it usually happens in like the first 2 episodes that they get out of prison. That's always a whole big part of the show. That's like one of my favorite parts of the show, is like their first day out. It literally says like 4 hours out of prison. It'll say that on the show. That's like with the gay couple. I think that's where I'm at on the episode, because I've got like 20 minutes left of it to watch, or anyway, 20 or something. I've not got very much of it left to watch, but anyway. And then the last couple, oh, it is a guy. It's a guy, and he is an IT, he works for IT for a hospital. And he is like, met this girl. I thought this was so strange. I'm trying to be so nice, but like when you watch the show, like some of the outfits, like this one gal, she goes to pick up her boyfriend in prison with her stepdad, and Nikki texted me and said, she showed up to pick her boyfriend up in slippers, and she goes, and I have those slippers. These leopard print slippers on. But this one gal, I mean, it's like literally like prison on one side of the road, and then they're parked on the other side of this dusty road out in the middle of nowhere, Texas, right? And it's like, she's standing out there in this like spaghetti strap black dress that you'd like go out to a club on a Saturday night, and she's got these like little kitten heels on, and she's like standing at this one woman, and she's like standing out there, and she's like screaming at these trucks, and she's like, where is he? Where is he? It's been 20 minutes. He's not out yet. It's like, the show is insanity. Like, you cannot watch it with a straight face, but this is a thing. Okay, so the last guy, yeah, he's really nice. Okay, actually, Nikki told me, who did she say she thought he looked like? I can't remember who she said he looked like. Well, I guess I could just look. I just didn't want to put my glasses on. But anyway, okay, she said, we've been texting about, oh, what did Alex text me? Hold on a second. Nikki texted me about, she said that she thought he looked like Tom Green. I thought he looked like Garrett Watts. You know, Shane Dawson's old friend. I thought that he looked like Garrett Watts. And acted like him kind of too. So she texted me, was that today? We were sending each other pictures last night. This one gal got up. Okay, so there's one girl on there. She's one that's like dating the guy, but she doesn't know he has another girlfriend, and the girlfriend doesn't know that he has her. So it's her birthday. I did feel bad for her. She's like, you ruined my birthday. I'm like, well, you did sit in a hotel room waiting for him for 12 hours. Like, that maybe was better choices, maybe, for a guy you've never met. So he keeps on talking about, he is so rude to these women. He is so rude to them. So she gets this, she books a hotel room, gets a cake, She buys, I'm looking at this picture of her right now. She's got this lingerie on with these cut-off jean shorts, and she's got these like thigh-high like hosieries on, and this wig. And she's like, her friends are there, and they're like, girl, just take all these sexy pictures and send them to him. And you know if he's got another girl there, then they'll pop up. Well, she sends him all these pictures, and the girl doesn't see him. But so I sent Nikki this picture last night. We kept on sending each other pictures back and forth. And so I'm trying to like, hold on, where is she? I mean, we were texting all night about this. Nikki texted me and said, why do all of these women want to hurry and get pregnant? Like, why? She said, okay, so like every one of them, the conversation they have with their friends or their family, before they've even met the guy, most of them will say like I want him to put a baby in me as soon as he gets out of prison. Like, that's what they say. They're like, I want to get pregnant yesterday. Like, this one girl's like, I want to get pregnant yesterday. This one girl, she's already got two. I like her boyfriend. I think his name is, it's something K. It's like JK or MK or TK or something like that. And his mom's in there too. And I like him, and he's trying so hard to do what's right and be dedicated to her. And like this one scene, they go back to his mom's house because he has to stay there because he's on house arrest. And the friend of the mom's that lives there, she goes, well, you guys can have my room so you can have some privacy tonight. Like, basically so they can have an intimate night, because all this girl wants to do is have sex so that he can give her a baby. And so they go into the room, and the guy's like, and he's literally been out of prison for like 5 hours, okay? He's gone to probation, he's done all this kind of stuff, or he's called probation, they've gone out to eat. Like, he's been in there for like 6 years, and they've been dating for 3 years. And so, and I like this guy. I think he's really nice, and he's really trying hard. Because some of them you can tell. I mean, this one guy, he gets out, and he's like drinking Patron and smoking a blunt in the car on the way to the restaurant. Like, and he sits there and he says, yeah, I can't drink, I can't use drugs on parole. And I'm like, dude, you're literally on a television show smoking a blunt in a car. Like, you just violated parole on the TV show. Like, and you signed off for this. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, so they go into this room, and I mean, and she's like, I just feel like I'm in a hospital room in a retirement. It did look like that. I mean, honestly, it did. I mean, the bed had guardrails on it. There was like a toilet, like with handles on it, and the woman was older. And then, and it had like a CPAP machine, like, you know, up on the bed, and she just like pointed to it, and she's like, I can't get down with this and all this kind of stuff. She's like from Texas, and she's like, you meet her because she takes her two boys. They're like 8 and 4 or something like that. They're rodeo riders. Like, she's talking about how her son rode his first bull when he was 4 or something like that. I like her though. The thing is, I like all of them. Like, I love their stories. It's so messy. Like, where I got to, so the one guy, he's real nice too. And his girlfriend, Katana, she's beautiful. They've dated since like high school, but they broke up. And every time they broke up, he like had a baby with another, like somebody else. And so he's got like, I don't know, but this one woman he has, and she's beautiful too, and she's got 2 sons with him, and she wants him back. And she's like, oh, I think I can get him back and all this kind of stuff. So his dad has this barbecue for him from coming home from prison, and you already know, okay, like when they go there to pick up his clothes, the sister and the girlfriend don't get along because she gets along really well with the mother of his children. But then they're like trying to work things out, and they're like talking. As soon as she leaves the house, she calls the girlfriend, or the mother of his kids, and she's like, yeah, she was over here talking shit about you and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, so then he invites her over to the barbecue, and the girlfriend's like, I thought she was supposed to drop the kids off, and she was an Uber driver. It's getting real heated. It's getting really messy, and I cannot wait. I love it. So anyway, and Friday is the next episode. It's so good, but it's so messy. Oh, I was reading your text, wasn't I? So we were texting about that all last night. Hold on a second. She's talking about, why do all these women want to hurry and get pregnant? Like, why? I mean, they talk about it so much. It is really strange. Like, and then the guys fight with their families, because their families, none of them want them to have any more kids or have kids at the moment. They're like, why don't you wait like 6 weeks or a year after being out of prison to having kids? They're like, no, I've waited long enough. I want a baby now. And they don't have jobs or anything, you know, to even take care of their kids. And so, and I said yesterday, LOL, because there's one girl in this restaurant, she's like, it's her birthday. It's always their birthday, these shows. And so her brother's coming real hard for him. And she says, and her friend goes, do you really want him to put a baby in you? And she's like, yesterday. So that's why I texted her yesterday. And I said, oh my God. I said, they're bringing a new couple on. Oh my God. And because I'm like a episode. And she said, I'm where this girl, oh, JK. She said, I'm where this girl has to share the bed with JK's mom. Oh, that was before JK got out of prison. JK is the guy that I think is real nice. With the mom, they're ready to stay in the retirement home. Well, it wasn't, but it was like, it looked like that. And so, anyway, we're talking back and forth, and she said, haha, okay, now I'm at Brooklyn's house. Brooklyn's the girl that said she wanted to get pregnant yesterday. I said, what episode are you? And she said, 2. And I said, she wants to get pregnant too. And Nikki was like, these poor kids. And then she was like, what app do you watch this on? Because Philo is giving me commercials. And I said, AMC. And I said, they spend so much money on these people because they're getting out of prison. Okay, these women who are hardworking women. I mean, they're like caregivers. This one woman's like a waitress and like a bartender, or a waitress and a barber. And she spent $20,000 on this guy. This one guy, he brought like flowers to the mom, flowers to the girlfriend. He bought her an engagement ring. He said minimum he spent $2,500 on her. They spent outrageous amounts of money, like for clothes and all this kind of stuff. Buy him new iPhones. This one guy, the guy that gets out that has 2 girlfriends, he gets in his friend's car instead of her car, and she's pissed about that. And he goes, where's my phone? He doesn't even say, thank you for getting me a phone. She literally hands him like a brand new iPhone box. And he just takes out and throws the box. And so he's like, I haven't had a phone. She's like, who are you talking to on the phone? He's like, I haven't had a phone in a year, like, or 3 years. Let me talk to her. I want to talk to her on the phone. It's so messy. Last time I watched it, the one guy, I can't remember what that woman's name was. She was a rapper, though. And she dated this guy, and then she found out that he had another girlfriend, and that he was like, that he kept on calling his aunt, and that they were in that hotel. She was like, found him in the hotel. It was real scandalous. He ended up dying. Like, they would show at the end of that episode, they would say that he passed away shortly after the episode was aired. It was really sad. And then we were talking about waiting for people to get out of prison, and Nikki just kept on saying, oh, but they all want to have babies. I said, yep. And she's talking about how she's going to watch episode 3, and then she's going to go to bed. And then she said she can't stop it. She has to keep watching. And I said, we need to divorce our men and get on this show. And she said, yep, upgrade. And then she said, LMAO, I feel bad for Savannah. This is what my friends and I do. This is my exciting life, okay? Tanya and I are texting about books. Nikki and I are either playing puzzles or, you know, sending each other memes and pictures about, talking about these TV shows. Then we're talking about this girl that was on here. She was asking, does she have kids? I said, this episode is getting messy. And so anyway, then she woke up today and she was trying to watch it and get caught up to where I'm at. She's like, this guy looks like Tom Green on Love After Lockup. I said, girl, I have 20 minutes left and I'm all caught up. She said, I'm going to watch him the rest when I get home tonight. I said, I wanted to make my video, but I haven't caught up yet totally. And she said, hurry up and watch the last 20 minutes. And then she said something about her mom loving my Sister Wives video, which was really sweet. I said, oh, tell her thanks. And then she's like, that one dude with the rope and the sex toys freaks me out. There's like this whole guy. He brings, okay, he's so in love with this girl that he proposes to her. And hey, you know what? Like, I understand. Like, and she keeps on staying in the car. Her mom's in the back seat. She keeps on going. She goes, can we just, like, instead of going out to eat, she goes, can we just go back to the hotel and order pizza? And she goes, because I just really want, she goes, pizza and penis, pizza and penis. And her mom's in the back seat just rolling her eyes. And he's so embarrassed. And he's like, those are the two P's. I actually really like this guy. He's like, I can't remember what his name is. Her name's Courtney. Why can't I think of what his name is? I mean, he describes himself as like a goofy, a video game guy is what he says. And he's starting an app for furries to meet. That's like his big thing that he's doing. But he's really a nice guy. He really cares about her. And she just wants pizza and penis. But anyway, I mean, don't we all? Oh, whoo! A day without waking up with anxiety, and I'm feeling great today. Let's just, you know, it is a good day today. But anyway, he brings all this stuff, and I'm like watching it, and I'm like, Like, they're in the hotel room for one night. I mean, he brings... I mean, it literally looks like he spent like $500 at a sex shop. He's got ropes and all this toys. And I'm like, dude, how long are y'all going to do it for? Like, seriously? Because it's so funny because all they talk about is they cannot wait to have sex. Like, all the women, all the men, all they talk about is that's all they want to do. They can't wait to have sex. And then this one guy... they have sex finally, and he says to her, I really like her. I'm kind of on the, Savannah is the girl, I like her. And I'm kind of on the edge about him. He's made some like body shaming remarks about her that I don't really like. But anyway, but I'm kind of on the edge about him, I don't know. But she says to him, like well, first of all, what they do is they buy, she didn't do this. She had some gorgeous house where her mom lived. It was like this compound like in Connecticut or something. I don't know where it was, but it was unbelievable. But anyway, I can't believe I'm going on about Love After Lockup. I know, I can already hear the comments. She should have just made a video about it because this is not a TV channel. I know, but I'm so excited about watching this show. So I apologize for that. You can go watch my video, my Peter Watches TV channel, whenever it comes out. But anyway, I'm going to be covering it weekly over there. Now you got time to catch up, see? Because I won't be posting that video till probably Friday or Saturday. So you got time to catch up. Okay, so you too want to watch. You can watch Love After Lockup. I think it's on Hulu, Philo, AMC if you have AMC, which I think it's kind of weird that it's on AMC. Is it always on AMC? Anyway, does it air originally on AMC? I don't know. But anyway, all these women, they buy all these presents for their men. Okay, like last season it was like Louis Vuitton belts and shoes, a new wallet, it's always a new phone, clothes, all this kind of stuff. I mean, they spend so much money. But then they get a hotel room, right? But they always do all this stuff that the guys don't give a shit about, right? Like they put... The camera stopped. Have I really been talking about Love After Lockup for 30 minutes? They do all this stuff that the men don't give a shit about. Like they put, oh my God, I've cussed so much in this video today, I think. They put like rose petals all over the bed. And then like they've got like, you know, champagne. And they make it real romantic. Like these guys are like, listen, they've been in prison for like 6 years, okay? They are not wanting to, like, and then they buy like special lingerie and stuff. This guy, she says to him, she goes, was it really good? And he goes, yeah, for the 38 seconds it lasted. I was like, you guys, the show is so messy. Listen, I am so tired of scripted reality TV. I'm so tired of it, okay? I mean, Sister Wives is so scripted, it's ridiculous. The Housewives, I feel like, is so scripted. They pick and choose what they're going to talk about on there. I'm so tired of scripted reality TV. It's like, back in the day, we started reality TV, and everybody was kind of afraid to be themselves. It was like really raw reality TV, right? Like the early days of like The Real World and Survivor. And then it got like so real, like Bad Girls Club, and people didn't know. I'm just talking about like the major shows, but like it was so in your face and so like messy and raw. And then it was like we started getting very scripted. Like what was the show that I used to watch? I just saw their daughter, Savannah Chrisley. What's the show called? Chrisley Knows Best or whatever. I used to watch that show back in the day. And I tweeted something out one time. I was like, I love this show, but it's so scripted. He goes, not scripted at all or something. Like, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he responded to me. But anyway, she came out with a statement. Did you see this? Savannah Chrisley, she is gorgeous. But did you see that she made a statement and she said that her parents haven't talked to each other in the entire time that they've been incarcerated? I don't even remember what they were incarcerated for. Back taxes or something like that. Anyway, always pay your taxes. So... reality TV got so scripted, like so unbelievably scripted, right? That I now love, like that's why I like 1,000 Pound Sisters, because it's not that scripted. I mean, you can tell there's some parts they edit out or they make for production and whatever. Obviously, it's gonna be part of a reality show. But like this, like Love After Lockup is messy. 90 Day Fiancé, messy. But I just can't keep with it. And I really, like, I don't have that investment. There's only like, ever when I watch 90 Day Fiancé, there's only like, I think I've only watched 2 seasons of it. There's only like 2 couples that I've ever invested in. What was the one couple that's been on like 8 seasons of it or something? The woman from Panama and her husband from Michigan. And everybody always said that she did him so wrong, but I thought he was so mean to her, even though she did like get the money for her, she got her a butt implants and she got the money from her ex-boyfriend, didn't tell him. The guy that always wore hats because he had like alopecia or something. Do you guys remember them, that couple? I think they ended up getting married. I should do a whole video about this, but anyway. And then, yeah, I watched 90 Day Fiancé. I actually, like, the last season that I watched it was the blonde girl from London and the guy in Los Angeles. And he always talked about how he was so poor and she wanted better things. And it was the trans woman that she'd off and on dated this guy, and she called him Justin because she thought like he looked like Justin Bieber. He looked nothing like Justin Bieber. I think his name was Ivan or something. Igor was his name. And she went to Moldavia to visit him. And then he was like ashamed of her, so they like broke up. Oh, he wanted to have relationships with other women. He wanted to have like an open relationship, so she was done with that. That was like the last season that I watched. I can't remember who else was on it. Oh, the couple from Panama and Michigan. They were on it. No, that wasn't 90 Day Fiancé. Was it? Is that 90 Day Fiancé? It is 90 Day Fiancé. Oh, no. Yes, it is. Because where you have to get the visa, it's called something, that visa that you get to come into the country for 90 days. That's why it's called 90 Day Fiancé. Did you know that? That's why it's called, I didn't know that until I started watching the show. 90 Day Fiancé is called 90 Day Fiancé because it's the visa that they get. And it's called like a C1 visa or something, where your intention is to be married. So they come for 90 days, and then... Oh, there was one couple on there that did get married. They were really sweet. He was from Korea, and she was from, like, Oklahoma or something like that. They were really sweet. But as soon as they get married and they're fine, they're, like, off the show. So they weren't really on the rest of the show. And then there was a guy that was, like, the drug addict. He was real sweet, but, like, you could tell he was kind of a mess. And then his fiancée, I can't remember where she was from, but her dad came over. And, like, he was going to maybe have to go back to prison. They got married. I looked it up. And they're, like, still together. And she's still living here. I don't know. It just was really messy to me. And I looked it up. And, like, a lot of the people never got married. And don't have anything to do with each other anymore. So, but anyway, I'm telling you right now, Love After Lockup is where it's at. So, I kept on saying last night, I was going to keep on watching one more episode. They're long episodes. They're like over an hour. I was like, I'm going to watch one more episode, and then I'm going to like I listened to a lot of my audiobook last night too, after like I walked in when I got back. And so I was like, because I'm trying to get through it to get the James Patterson stuff. So I was like, I am either going to read or I'm going to watch 1,000 Pound Sisters, because I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this show done by tonight, because my plan originally had been to do my Love After Lockup video today, save 1,000 Pound Sisters for tonight, and then do the reaction tomorrow. Maybe I'll just do both reactions tomorrow and film 2 videos over there. Why not? Why not? So anyway, I don't know why that, like, I'm limiting myself to 1 video a day over there. Why not? I've many times filmed 2 videos on my channels before. So anyway, but I didn't want to watch. I was like, no, I was so into it. The only reason I really want to watch 1,000 Pound Sisters is because this episode they're going to talk about who Queen Tammy is dating. Because she came out and said that she was dating a woman on the last episode, so I knew that they were going to show that, because the last episode ended with her waiting in the bowling alley for her girlfriend. So I was like, I wanted to see how they like introduce that in the show, but I was like, I can wait for that tonight. So they are really hard. Can you hear them out there? Oh my God, you guys. Okay, first of all, can I just tell you, I had like a really weird feeling about this. Like, I almost feel like this is like Boo Radley coming to visit me, you guys. It's so weird. It's every night that I sit on that chair, and this little bunny rabbit comes up, and he doesn't just like, he comes all the way up almost to the nearest hosta, and he jumps around over there. Nikki last night, because it's always while I'm on the phone with her, it seems like. And, but last night, I think it was like right before I talked to her on the phone that he came up there. And she said, you need to get some like things for him to eat, like, you know, like whatever rabbits eat, like carrots or whatever. I think she said like lettuce or something like that. But I think I took a picture of it. Hold on. Actually, this came up today. Do you guys remember Empire Records? I used to love that movie so much back in the day. And this thing came up for Rex Manning Day. It said Happy Rex Manning Day. And I didn't even look on here. I was like, when is Rex Manning Day? And so it said on here April 8th on the Instagram. I don't even follow this account. It just came up. And I was like, so I Google searched, when is Rex Manning Day? April 8th. But then I was like, I haven't watched Empire Records in so long. When did Empire Records come out? I loved that movie. Records. Oh my God, 1995. It came out the year after I got sober. That is so crazy. I love that movie so much. Maybe that's why I love it. Anyway. Oh, here's my screenshot of the Love After Lockup poster. Because I put it up on my Instagram last night. Somebody, oh, I saw this. No, I saw this on Facebook. Something about this. Have you guys heard of this documentary? It's called Jasper Mall. Let's look it up really quick. Jasper Mall documentary. I don't know anything about this. 2020 film, it says. It's on Prime, I think. Ooh. Is Jasper Mall a real documentary? Jasper Mall is a 2020 American documentary film. It's about a dying mall. Yeah, it revolves around the Jasper Mall, a dying mall in Jasper, Alabama. I think that sounds good, doesn't it? I'm going to watch that. Oh, I didn't take a picture of the bunny rabbit last night. But anyway, the bunny rabbit came up. Okay, so I'm talking, this was right after that because I was talking to Nikki. You have no idea what just happened in my mind. But when I tell you what the story, it'll totally make sense. So I was talking to Nikki last night and I said, oh my God, Nikki, this like, bunny rabbit just came up, blah, blah, blah. I didn't tell her I thought it was Boo Radley. But while I was sitting there, I was like, I wonder if this is like Boo, I do kind of believe in some of that stuff, I was like, is Boo Radley coming back in the form of a rabbit to visit me? Because he's grown over time. He like started off real small and now he's like probably like this big. I mean, he's still little, but it's like, anyway. And he always comes late at night. He jumps across the yard back and forth. And I put food underneath the tree. And so he's nibbled at that a little bit, but he always comes like, I'm literally sitting right in the chair. Like I'm moving and stuff, he can see me there. It's like he's not afraid of me. He comes right up the walkway and then goes right in front of the first hosta. It's the most bizarre thing. I mean, I never have animals that come that close to me. And so, anyway, I was trying to take a picture of it. I was talking to Nikki because I was trying to take a picture while I was talking to her, and then he hopped away. And it was like literally like 5 minutes after that, I heard this weird sound. Nikki could hear it like come and go sometimes, but it was like I could see it because it flew through our tree, and then it went high, and then it flew through pool crew lady number 2's tree, and then it was like flying out of a tree, and it was the weirdest sound. It was like ooh, ooh. It was like, I was like, is that an owl? She's like, I don't know what that is. I go, is it a loon? Nikki goes, what's a loon? I go, well, you obviously didn't watch On Golden Pond for Peter's Book Club, or Peter's Movie Club last year, which, by the way, people keep on asking me if Peter's Movie Club is coming back. Peter's Movie Club is coming back this summer. I haven't picked a date yet. I might pick like the first weekend after Memorial Day and then do it till Labor Day, because that was summer when I was growing up as a kid. And I want to pick all blockbuster movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark and Jaws. And even if we watched it last year, I want to pick it again. I want to do like all summer blockbuster movies, and then I'm just going to do Peter's Movie Club through the summer. So that will be on my Peter Does Stuff channel if you want to watch it. But yes, I'm bringing that back. I think I'm going to indefinitely, not definitely, indefinitely. Or just put on hiatus the, what do you call it? The Shark Movie Club. Oh, by the way, people keep on asking me when I'm going to make an announcement about what is going on with the True Crime Book Club. So I will be making that announcement, I said in April, so before next Wednesday, I will be making that announcement. Yeah, we just kind of like had to like finalize some stuff, Mel and I, and so anyway, we did that, and I'm real excited. She's real excited about it. I don't know that other people will be real excited about it, but we'll see. It's interesting because I'll get into that in that video, and I'll share how it all happened. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, so this like bird flew through there, but it was making this I've never heard this in this neighborhood before. It was like ooh, ooh, or something like that. Okay, and the first part of it sounded like an owl, like ooh, ooh, or whatever an owl does. I don't know. And I was like, is that an owl? And Nikki did hear that part, and she goes, I don't know what that is. It was so loud. But the bird seemed bigger than an owl, but I was like, I said to her, I go, let me show you my stupidity. I go, do owls fly? I mean, obviously they do. But I mean, I've never seen like one in the day, like an owl flying, I go, I don't know why it would be flying over there. And she goes, well, maybe it sees something that it's trying to eat. And I didn't even think of it. I go, oh, maybe. I didn't even think of it at the time. It better not be my bunny rabbit. Owls do eat bunnies, don't they? Let's look it up and see. Do owls eat bunny rabbit? I'm sure I've heard a story about that before. Do owls eat bunny rabbits? Not that I put bunny rabbits. Oh my God, it's showing one going after it. No! They are opportunist hunters, which means they eat everything they can find, which regularly includes wild rabbits. They better never or stay out of here. But it was like flapping a lot. Because that's why I thought, well, maybe it's like a loon. Because I said to Nikki, I said, it sounds like a big bird. Not big bird, but it sounds like a big bird. Do owls, do they fly mostly at night? Mostly. Do owls fly south for the winter, it said. Mostly. Oh, it says at night. In Indiana, it even puts in here. Yes, in Indiana, owls are predominantly nocturnal, meaning they are most active at night. While some owls, like the short-eared owl, may be active during the day, especially in twilight hours, most owl species in Indiana are more likely to be seen flying and hunting at night. Listen, I want to... Okay. Indiana owl sounds. Let's see if there's a video about it. We don't need a 10-minute video, do we? Owls of Indiana vocalizations.
Stephanie Morissette, and as promised.
Oh no, okay, hold on. I want to hear the owl sounds. That is exactly it. That was an owl I heard last night. Oh my Lanta. Whew. I hope it didn't get my bunny rabbit. You know, like Margaret Wrinkle, what she would say is, she would say this. Margaret Wrinkle would say, as sad as it is, that's part of the cycle of life. And that, you know, snakes eat eggs out of the bird's nest, and that's all part of it. And she had to come to terms with that. So if Margaret Wrinkle, the essayist and environmentalist, can come to terms with it, Peter Monn can come to terms with it too. But I hope it wasn't. The bunny is kind of big at this point. Like, I don't know that. Well, the picture that I saw, the owl, like the bunny was like that big. And it was like, had the wings out and everything. Anyway. And then I asked Nikki, I said, do bats make that sound? Do bats make sounds? She goes, I don't know. We had a bat in our house one time. I go, okay, that doesn't help. And she started laughing. The whole time I'm talking to Nikki on the phone, by the way. So she makes iced coffee late at night, and she puts like syrups and stuff in it. So she had caramel in the bottom of it. So she also has she has 3 cats. And so y'all know how I feel about cats. You know, it's so funny to me that like, one of my best friends has cats, like Tanya boards cats. You know, all of my friends, Melissa has cats. She's had cats for years. And people have literally unsubscribed to my channel before because I said that I don't like cats and cats are aliens. Okay, so Nikki's cat will lay on her while I'm talking to her on the phone, and she makes this sound, and it sounds like she's sucking on a straw, okay? So last night I'm talking to Nikki, and I'm like, and I said, girl, is that cat? And she goes, no, I had to get the caramel from the bottom of my cup. I said, I am telling you. And she started laughing so hard. I said, you're like the little girl in the backseat of a car. And I said, sip it on a milkshake. She goes, listen. She goes, I needed the caramel. We got laughing so hard. But anyway. So yeah, after my bird ordeal last night outside, it was nice last night. I'm like, these spring nights, I'm absolutely loving, you know? I gotta bring out my shorty pajamas. I don't feel like it's warm enough yet for the shorty pajamas. I did put on, well, maybe today, I've got like, well, I had on like this other t-shirt. I put this on for this video because it's clean, it's nice. So, but anyway, I have these like long, they're not really sweatpants. Whenever I talk about sweatpants, they're not like, I was gonna say they're tight at the waist. They're more kind of like yoga pant kind of things, is the things that I wear. But they're tighter around the ankles, but not tight. I do have one pair of like sweatpants. Alex wears a lot of the sweatpants. He looks good in them. I don't. But like, I look like a mom going shopping at the grocery store. Alex looks hot in sweatpants. These are more like lounge wear. You know what I mean? Anyway. So yeah, so I got done with Love After Lockup. Well, I was like halfway through the last step. Well, no, I've got like 20 or 30 minutes left. And I was like, I was getting tired. And I was like, you need to just go to bed. You need to go to bed. I was like, why you, like, I lit all the candles last night. Do you remember those French toast? Okay. I have like 5 stories going in my head. Do you remember the French toast sticks, candle melts, or wax melts that I bought from Etsy? Okay. I have not used those. Well, I don't think I have before. Maybe. I don't know. I had opened the thing, but I haven't. Anyway, so I used those last night. Oh, so here's the conversation. So Nikki goes, caramel in the bottom of her cup for her coffee. And I said, oh my God, you know what that just made me think of? And she goes, what? And I said, I'm going to go, because I always wait to put my wax melts in. I light the candles when I'm like talking on the phone, but then I come inside because the wax melt machine's only like 4 hours. So I wait. And so I was like, I'm going to use the, what do you call it? The, I can't remember what it's called now. The French toast sticks. She goes, what made you think of that? I said, I don't know. Caramel syrup French toast. She goes, that makes sense. It makes no sense, but it made sense to me. But anyway, so I came in here last night. Why do all of those, if you've ordered, did it just go to the halfway mark? It did. The battery just went to the halfway mark. Oh, I forgot I filmed before I came in here. If you burn candle melts or wax melts, I always call them candle melts. I know they're wax melts. If you have bought wax melts from Etsy, do you know like the ones that people like do at home and stuff like that? Okay, I don't know why. so many of them. I don't mind it. It looks pretty, and it doesn't clean out any different, but I don't understand the purpose of it. Because you can't see it. Like, when you're looking at the wax melt before you melt it, you can't see it. You can only see it after it melts. Maybe in some wax melts things it would be cool, but in the one that I have, you only see it if you're, like, walking by and you're like, oh, there's glitter in it. Like, in the last 4 or whatever that I've, like, melted that I bought from Etsy, there's glitter in it. I'm like, oh, there's the what do you call it? The French toast sticks had like purple glitter in it. Made no sense to me at all. But a lot of them do. I'm like, do they double as bath bombs? I'm confusion. So anyway, but I blew out all my candles last night. I keep on wanting to start this book that I got about this kid. Well, I thought it'd be a real easy read. Somebody recommended it to me and said it was really good. But when I started looking at it, it's real deep. It's about this kid that has... Oh, by the way, a couple people, since I mentioned this on here, have reached out to me about they said you need to watch the movie. I have the book on Audible. I've had the book on... and people have been like, I didn't even know it was a book. I was like, I didn't even find out it was a movie till later, but it's The Girl with All the Gifts. And I think it's about zombies. But I have the book. The book is supposed to be fantastic. One of my friends recommended it to me years ago. But I want to listen to the book. I actually, like, moved it up on my list. Because I was like, it was probably at 100th on my list. And I was like, no, I'm going to listen to it the next couple weeks. Because I want to watch the movie now. Because people are telling me you got to watch this movie. Anyway. I don't know what this book is called that I bought. That's about... I guess we could Google search it and I can tell you what it's called. It's like 3 books in the series. The first book is called Season 1. Like, it's a TV show. It's weird. Book about... It's about a kid that has autism that's alone during a zombie apocalypse. If it pulls it up, I will die. No, it's not the end games. No, they're... I mean, I could just get up and go look at it sitting there on my kitchen counter, but I just don't feel like it. Oh wait, maybe this is it. Forgot the title of the story. Somebody's looking for it too. Did somebody? No, they don't know what it is. Must not. If I have to get another battery, I'll go in there and get it. If I end this before I get another battery, then we won't worry about it. This person keeps on saying, neither of those, neither of those, neither of those. Is this it? It's a review. No. Ranger Martin and the Zombie Apocalypse by Jack Flacco. Never heard of it. It's on Goodreads. I don't know what this is. A fun zombie apocalypse for kids. Do you think that's so funny that in 2025, like when I was growing up, it's called The Last Kids on Earth. But do you think it's so funny that in 2025, the description for a book would be a fun zombie apocalypse for kids? That would not have been a fun book for me to read as a kid. I mean, we're in a different world today, you know? We've got The Walking Dead, we've got the spin-off, The World Beyond, that's basically a kid's show for kids. I can't get through it. I went back and I looked, and I thought I was further along than I am, and I'm on the 2nd episode of the 1st season. I was like, oh, hell's bells. Dead City is coming out next month. And I was like, there's so many shows coming out that I want to watch. Oh my God. So I didn't love the 1st season, but it was messy, and it was so fun to react to on my Peter Watches TV channel. But did you guys know that I think it's in May, it's coming out, is the 2nd season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? You gotta follow my Peter Watches TV Instagram if you want to know all this news. And today, they released a trailer for Wednesday on Netflix. Or the behind the scenes or something like that. I put that up on my Netflix last night. So, yeah. So today, when I get done, which will be here momentarily, today when I get done, now I'm like dying to know what that book is. This is gonna drive me crazy. King of the World? Oh, maybe this is, no, that's not it. Zoe Undead? Hollow Kingdom. It's literally sitting right in there. I should just go get it. Oh, here it is. This Plague of Days. I think this is it. I'll know it if I see the... Yeah, this is it. The Plague of Days by Robert Chaz Chute. See, The Plague of Days, Season 1. It says The Zombie Apocalypse. Well, it's not an easy read. And the pages are like this long, and they're like very small print. I'm like, okay. I mean, we know that I'm back into physical copy reading now. I'm like, right now I think I'm reading like 4 books. I'm reading, oh my God, I still have not finished the Life as We Knew It, the last book yet. I've got to get that done. So I'm reading that. I'm reading the Kayla Stone book, Edge of Collapse, book 1. Read the prequel already. I'm loving that book. I love that series so much. Whoever recommended it to me, I can't remember. Teresa, I think maybe. Whoever recommended that book to me or that series, I love it. I can't wait to read the next one that I took on vacation with me that starts in Miami. I was trying to explain it to Tanya, and I said to Tanya, I said, it's about this zombie apocalypse, and they're trying to get out of Miami. And Tanya goes, why would anybody want to leave Miami? I go, what do you mean? She goes, beaches, restaurants. I go, it's a zombie apocalypse, Tanya. Oh no, I said they're trying to leave, these 2 sisters are trying to leave Miami to go to the swamps. I don't think I said maybe zombie apocalypse. And she goes, why would anybody want to leave Miami for the swamps? And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, it has beaches, it has restaurants. I go, it's a zombie apocalypse. We just started laughing. Anyway, so somebody recommended this book to me called This Plague of Days. It's supposed to be good. I don't know. I pulled it out because I was like, well, maybe we'll start that one. I want to start the Rotten Ruin books too, about the zombies. I got so many things I want to do. So I was like, you know what? Today I'm just going to vlog, and then I am going to take my walk, and then when Alex gets home, I'm going to, take a comfy shower, we'll have a little dinner, and then just have a day of relaxation. I'll probably do like candles and face. Oh, before I do all that, I'm going to like change the linens and all that stuff and make the bed really nice and cozy and stuff like that for spring. Yeah. Oh, Alex and I were talking last night about spring cleaning. We want to start doing pick areas that we want to do some massive spring cleaning in and stuff like that. So we're going to do that. And then, yeah. So, I think that's it. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to tell you. Now I don't need to go get the book, but I probably do need to go get another battery. Should we go in and read a couple comments? Let's go in and read some comments. Hold on a second. The thing is, if I'm reading comments and the battery starts flashing, I won't know it. Okay. Oh my God, and the whatever who's in charge of the management company emailed me back today. I couldn't believe it. Today. Okay. Okay, somebody said if the power washers were bonded, and I don't know anything about all that, but, and we're insured, the HOA may have to put in a claim on that business insurance for, okay. So the HOA board is dealing with the power washers. So it's really a long, confusing story, and to be honest with you, I don't really understand it to speak to it. All I know is, I talked to the guys today, they had already talked to my neighbors about it, and they said they knew about it, and I said, can you tell how much of the damage is from, the rotting of the wood, and how much is the power washing? And they said, well, we're not, and I said, no, I'm just just person to person, I'm not, and they said, some of it is definitely from the power washing. And I said, because they said they were here, later in the day, and that's when they slowed down working. They said, we were here that day. And I said, the day of the power washing? They said, yeah, because we came to inspect the building to see, how much we were going to have to do. I didn't know that they had come out here that day. And so he said, we could tell then that there had been some damage from the power washing. And he said, so I asked the guy, who they, were through, and that whole situation is so confusing, and that's an HOA board situation. So, yeah, it's basically what I was told was, anything that was damaged, we need to take pictures of and send it to the management company, and the management company and the HOA board will take care of it. So, it's kind of a done deal as far as I'm concerned with it. But they were very serious. They took it very seriously. So, it is what it is. Okay. Oh, everybody's leaving oh, Lala, hey! Left Christmas emojis. Everybody's leaving such nice little emojis here. Blue hearts. Oh, Tracy she put ladybugs. Did I say my favorite? I can't remember. Aw, I don't know. Your name is, well, starts with it says FDG. I don't know, but you gave me $4.99. That was so sweet. Thank you. And said I forgot about your vlog channel. That's astounding, as it is my favorite. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much for that. Oh my God. I talked about my anxiety yesterday, and so many people, I just want to say this, I'm sure that there were other things that that were contributing to my anxiety. I don't believe that it was fully about that. My anxiety has been existing since Boo Radley passed away. I think it's a combination of things. I think that it's a combination of the dogs being gone, Boo Radley being gone. I don't know that maybe people are right, and to some degree, it was like an emotional support dog. I also don't know that it's just something that's developed over time. Who's messaging me? I don't know. I think it has to do with, like my therapist said, like the unresolved grief and the ongoing grief. You know, I think that what was hard for me was that for so long, it never felt like it was set off by like any specific thing. And there are moments that I can tell you that literally nothing was going on and the anxiety would come out. I can testify to that. I mean, like absolutely 100%. Like my life was peaceful and calm and serene and nothing was going on. And I would just feel like I was coming out of my skin. Recently, have there maybe been some things that are contributing to that? I don't know, maybe, you know? But I don't think that that's solely to, I just don't believe that. Do I think it's interesting that today I woke up feeling fantastic? I don't know. You know, I have a piece about me today, you know? I think also, not even as necessarily like a God thing, but just as like more of like a spiritual, like of the soul thing. I go a lot to, like I sit in peace and quiet a lot. Like I just sit outside and just like listen to the birds. And oh, my battery's flashing. Hold on just a second, I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I'm not going to talk a whole lot longer. I looked at my phone and I was like, oh, it's getting later and I want to walk and all this kind of stuff and change the linens. But anyway, you know, I sit outside. I think that's what I was talking about. I sit outside and just like listen to the birds or listen to music. I just downloaded it. The acoustic, I know this is so old. I know people are going to be like, Peter, that's been out forever. But I just heard it the other day and I downloaded the acoustic version of Taylor Swift's All Too Well. It says The Sad Girl Autumn or something like that. I love that version of it. You know, the Avett Brothers, I'll just sit and listen to, you know, that. A lot of folk music, like a lot of like Judy Collins, my mom listened to, like The Moon's a Harsh Mistress. You know, I have playlists made up that are just like, I have like walking playlists that are like dance music and stuff that I like, also like live versions of Sweet Caroline and stuff like that. Dave Matthews has a good version of that, by the way. Billy Joel, you know, Piano Man's Another Night at the... I can't remember. If I had the lyrics in front of me, I could do it. That's the one song that, like, if I'm hearing it sung, I know every word to it. But if you asked me to start it, I couldn't tell you the words to save my life. Probably like most songs. But anyway, you know, I sit and just... Even if I'm listening to music or I'm just sitting... I do sit in silence a lot and I listen to, like, birds. And I don't know that if I'm necessarily talking to God or if I'm talking to myself or if I'm just thinking or if I'm just, like... You know... In the early days of 12-step programs, the word meditation was used. I think it's been kind of confused over the years. Like, you know, people now think that it's supposed to be like this Zen meditation kind of thing and that you have to do all that kind of stuff. And it's very confusing, I think. And it was explained to me years ago by this brilliant man that I was so honored to call my sponsor. He said, you know, at the time that they wrote the steps and they wrote the book, meditation would have been also a word that they used for deep thought. So really what they meant was just to sit in deep thought, to sit in prayer and deep thought. And I said, okay. And he said, the action of prayer is talking to your higher power. The action of meditation is listening to what they're saying or listening to what the universe is saying. And I love that, you know? And so that has really, really helped me a lot. I've shared on here recently more, you know, I mean, obviously since Boo passed, but, and I will say this too, I'm really, really, really having a hard time with the Boo thing. Like, I'm still really struggling with it. I don't know that I necessarily cry like I did before. There are moments of it. But I'm reminded of him a lot. I think it's the one thing, in all honesty, that probably keeps me from getting a dog right now. I also feel like whenever the right dog comes along, I'll feel like this is the dog that... Somebody literally just called me yesterday and was like, I think this is the right dog for you, and blah, 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 whatever. And I heard the story, and I was kind of like, maybe this is the dog. And then somebody else was interested in the dog, and I said, well, I don't think that the dog, this can sound so strange, but I said, I don't think that the dog that's supposed to come my way is going to be that. Like, it's going to be like 2 or 3 people, you know, wanting the dog. So if it's a good home, let them go to this, you know, I'm not ready yet. And, but I always feel like I'm kind of like getting there. Like, I think if another dog came up like literally today, this hour, and I felt like it was the right dog, I think I would be like, okay, let's do it. I find myself really leaning towards looking at dogs that look like Boo. When Pee-Pee passed away, I really, really wanted Chihuahua. Another Chihuahua that looked just like Pee-Pee, you know? And I think, I don't know, it's weird if that's part of grief or whatever. And I mean, I've known people that have had 20 of the same dogs that look the same. They just get the same looking dog over and over and over again, you know? I mean, I don't want that. I don't want an exact replica of Boo or Tucker or Pee-Pee. But I did look at Betty and Bean on Instagram because Betty looks like Boo, I think, a little bit. And she is... They did this, like, DNA testing to figure out... They did this DNA testing to find out, like, what, like, percentage of dogs they are. And actually, because Bean is, like, looks like a Chihuahua. And Betty is, like, 85% Chihuahua. And, like, the rest of her is, like, Maltese, I think. And I was like, well, that's what I want then. I want a Chihuahua Maltese mix. So when that comes up for a rescue, that's what I'm getting, you know? It's like, you know, but this is the thing, too. I think I've become more open-minded through it. Like, back in the day, I was like, I always wanted, like, a boy dog. You know, we'd always had boy dogs. I always wanted a boy dog. My stepmoms had, like, my dad and my stepmom have, well, now they just have the Pickles, a boy dog. But usually they always had, like, a boy dog and a girl dog, you know, always when I was growing up. But I typically, you know, like, Alex and I have always had boy dogs. So I just thought that's what we would do. You know, being around Preciosa, Alex's aunt's dog and his cousin's dog, has made me really realize I don't really care if it's a boy or a girl dog. I really don't, as long as there's some kind of bond there, you know? But like I said, I think if today, and no, I'm not saying this, and tomorrow I'm going to show you guys a dog. That has not happened, okay? And yes, I would be definitely more prepared for that. But I'm just saying that, like, that's how ready I feel. The one thing that keeps me back is, and I know this is going to sound so strange, and I've talked to so many people about this, about, like, when they've lost loved ones, like cleaning out the rooms or, you know, donating clothes or whatever, and like the moving through the grief process and keeping things that remind you of them and not keeping everything, and they wouldn't want it that way. My mom wouldn't have wanted it that way. I wouldn't want it that way, you know, and what do you think they would want? And asking them this, and that none of it's, I mean, I can remember feeling like, if I don't think about my mom every day or do something, then I'm betraying her. But I also know that my mom, and she's just kind of my go-to example of this because I think she's the one person that I fully went through, like, all the stages of grief with, all the feelings, all the emotions and everything, fully the first time, and felt very numb at first, you know, was numb for like my first 2 years or something like that, just numb, just out, it was not, you know, I was not in a good space, and so, but after that, and so that's kind of like my comparison study to, you know, like, any of it, and, I can remember feeling like it was a betrayal to my mom if I got rid of some of her stuff or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, I think that's the one piece that we don't talk about grief. That you feel like if you don't maybe, like, mention them at a holiday or tell a story about them or do something honorable about them or remember them every single day or you forget what their voice sounds like, that's a betrayal to them. And in all honesty, like, I don't know that my mom 17 years later would want me living in every moment of her life. I can tell you, I know this for me, that if I were gone today, I wouldn't want somebody 17 years from, I mean, Alex and I have talked about that. You know, I've told him, I said, you know, like, if I was no longer here, I would want you to meet somebody else that made you happy, or be single if that's what you want to do. I don't care, but I want you to be happy, you know? And he's told me the same thing. We've given each other our blessing, you know? I think it's important to have those conversations. Do I want him to be upset that I'm gone? Absolutely, you know, a little bit, and I would, obviously, but it's like, I think that there's this betrayal aspect of grief that we really never talk about, and I'm really struggling with it with Boo. And I know if that little guy understood anything or could talk to me, he'd say, Dad, you get you another dog. I know he would say that, you know? And I'm grateful. I say my prayers every night, you know? I'm grateful for the time that I had with Boo, Tucker, and Pee-Pee, and that they were such great dogs for us, you know, and they were such a huge part of our family. They were our family for, you know, effectively 17 years, you know? And so I don't know, it's just like, but there's a part of me that just is like, I don't feel like it's necessary for me to ever let go of that. But I think I live in it a little bit more than I want to. I don't know if that makes sense. But I was going to say, I've talked a lot about the anxiety recently, in the last couple weeks or whatever. And, every video that I post, you guys share stuff with me, DMs I've gotten, the support and the love and the kindness that you guys give me, not just through anxiety, but through anything, I am just like forever grateful for. I mean, it just, if you're my age or older, you'll understand this. To grow up in my world when I was younger and to say, I have depression or I have anxiety, there was a stigma that came across with that. I think there still is, not to the degree that it ever was back then, but like when I was growing up, I think that's why my mom effectively didn't get the mental health treatment that she needed, because I think it was, number one, I think there was a stigmatization that came from talking about mental health. And number two, definitely for women with mental health issues or being alcoholics or addicts. My mom would talk about that when she got sober. She'd say, like with a man, it's just, he just, got crazy when he was drinking, but just couldn't handle his liquor. But with a woman, it's like, oh, she's such a sad case. Like, it's like you look down on a woman as an alcoholic, but you don't look down on a man as an alcoholic. You know what I mean? And so my mom would say the same thing with mental health issues. She'd say, it's like a woman that has mental health issues is crazy. Like, that's where they put us, So the fact that I can come on a video all these years later and talk about struggling with anxiety and not understanding anything about it, and you guys don't dog me for that, and you guys don't correct me, you just give me offering, and you have helped so much. I just want to say I'm so grateful for that. I am so incredibly grateful for that. It just really, really means the world to me. So thank you. You are a huge part of, you guys are all a huge part of, I love this vlog. This vlog is my heartstone. It's the one thing that every day, I love all my channels for different reasons. Each of them have a different reason for me. Y'all feel like family to me. And so when I come on here and I sit at the end of the day, this is the way that I unwind. This is the one thing I know I'm going to do every single day, And so to then get that kind of support and love over talking about whatever is going on in my life, but, losing Boo or, anxiety or whatever, and then to get this support and no judgment from that is just, it's really cool. It's really what it is. So thank you. And I'm forever grateful for that. And with that, I'm going to get off here now, and I'm going to go change the linens, and then I'm going to take my walk before Alex comes home. So, yep, because he should be home about 6. So I can get this done and take my walk for an hour or so, and then let him relax for a little bit. Then I'll come home, take a shower, and then we will have a night. So anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing, what is today, Wednesday. We will be resuming Cousin Fun Day next week. And tomorrow my plan is, unless it's super, super loud outside and I can't film in here, but I think there's like, because I talked to them, and there's going to be patches throughout the day where we're moving around. They did tell me, they said the day that we do, because they covered it up. Oh, I was going to tell you this. By the window, that huge hole, they covered it up, but they said the day that we have to repair the holes, we're going to be working on that hole for like 3 hours, and it's going to be extremely loud. And I said, so that's probably a day that I told them, I film YouTube videos and whatever. They're like, I said, so that's a day that I'm not going to want to film inside. And the dad looked at me and goes, that's probably a day that you're not going to want to be at home. And I go, okay. He goes, because it's going to be really loud. He goes, but that's going to be late afternoon. He said, so we'll let you know before, we even start on that. They are so nice, just so nice. So grateful for that too. And they came early, and they got it all fixed, and all the troubles that we were all worried about, we have to worry about. My old sponsor used to say 90% of the, well, it did happen, I guess, but you know what? Let's live in gratitude today. And so, yeah. I love you guys. All right. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Wednesday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.